GGG has just released an FAQ based on the patch notes for PoE 3.25, and in it, it looks like the Lightning Strike Warden is going to be even better than we initially thought. So first thing, how does Rage on Hit work with multiple sources of the stat? Multiple sources of Rage on Hit can grant you Rage from the same hit. If you have 5 Rage on hit from a weapon, 3 from a tincture, and 2 from an ascendancy, you gain 10. Thing that is amazing in here is that we have confirmed Rage on Hit from tinctures. This was something that I wasn't 100% certain about, but now that it is certain, it's pretty damn good because we can now easily get a source of Rage, assuming this mod isn't too rare. It does have an internal cooldown of 0.5 seconds to gain Rage, so 3 from just the tincture would mean that we could get that max 30 Rage in about 5 seconds, which is 30% more attack damage. This is really nice for us playing the Lightning Strike Warden. Next, there's a few other things. The main one is the Taming. Now, a lot of people were wondering about this. Is the Taming going to be completely broken on the Warden? So the way this works now is previously you would get 20% increased damage with hits and ailments per freeze, shock, or ignite on enemy. The thing that's changing with the Warden is that now the Warden can apply 50 small shocks. So people are saying, are we going to get 20 times 50? Obviously not. That would have been completely broken. However, now they've changed it so that the Taming now grants 30 to 40% increased elemental damage with hits and ailments for each type of elemental ailment on the enemy. They have, however, removed the 30% increased elemental damage and the increased elemental damage with attack skills. So what does this mean in terms of damage? I know you all love a good set of numbers, so let's have a look. Essentially, TLDR, Taming is worse at low levels and better at higher levels with more investment. Losing the wet and elemental damage was just free damage, whereas now you have to make sure that you're investing in your ailments. Also, the roll of your Taming matters more because it's 30 to 40% increased elemental damage with hits and ailments. If you get a top roll, add your catalyst to make that up to 48%. It's huge. If you get a bottom roll and you can't catalyst it up, it's not as good as it was, but there is potential for scaling here. So for example, if we have 3 ailments, freeze, shock, ignite, or chill, shock, ignite, we can be looking to get 144% increased elemental damage from the Taming now. Whereas previously with 3 ailments, we would be getting 20 plus 36 plus 36. This is the catalyst elemental damage with attacks and just elemental damage plus 20%. So this would give us 132. So with 3 ailments, we're actually getting more damage from the Taming now. If you only have 2 ailments, however, and you have a bottom roll Taming, for example, this would only be granting you 60% increased elemental damage, whereas previously it would have granted you 100. However, if you say have 4 ailments, let's say shock, ignite, chill, and scorch, well, now you can be looking to get something like 192 on a max roll with quality versus 152. So it's a little bit of a nerf to the low end, but the buff could be really good, especially if you can play a lot of different ailments. Something important, make sure you've got your Barracks Grip, Pass, and Respite, those 2 stone rings on your filter highlighted. I suspect the Taming is going to be very, very high demand next league, so it might be expensive. Also, Hunter's Reward div card, make sure this is showing. The next thing, Barkskin. This has actually been changed, but it's not all bad. So the way it works now, it reserves 10% of your mana. Previously, this was 25. You gain 1 bark a second. If you haven't been hit, you lose a bark. If you have been hit, maximum 10 bark. This is all the same. And then at the bottom, 2% more chance of evade attacks per bark below maximum. This is the same, but now this is where things get different. Minus 30 physical damage taken from attack hits per bark. Previously, this was minus 15. The other thing that is missing is the plus 15% increased armor per bark. Losing that is a bit painful at the top end. However, this minus 30, I believe this all comes in after all the reductions, so after your armor and less damage and all of that stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But this is crazy good fizz damage mitigation from attack hits early on. I might be taking Barkskin first. Also, the 10% reservation is a very, very nice buff. So we can actually pull up my PoB. So with old Barkskin, let's say we have about 25,000 armor. And then with 10 stacks, previously this would have granted us all the way up to 40,000 armor. So we're not going to be getting that anymore. And of course, if you, for example, soul gain prevention, this would have been 60 and now instead it's 38. So it's pretty bad losing that percent increase armor. But the upside is that we're getting that flat mitigation a bit higher, and then also the reservation is lower. So as you can see over here with the old Barkskin, this is reserving 25% mana. You can see we have 8% unreserved. And over here, 60 mana unreserved. But with the new reservation, which we can simulate with a simple Defiance banner like this, well, now we have 17% unreserved. This is enough that we could, maybe if we get a little bit more reservation, we could squeeze in another Herald, something like that. Herald of Purity, Thunder. We could pop that in. You can see we're not quite there, but maybe if we got a better roll on our helmet for reservation or an Essence of Loathing on our chest. So it is a little bit of a loss on the percent armor, but we are getting a bit of it back. And also for leveling, this is going to be super nice for fizz mitigation. That is going to be it for this video. Let me know what you think. What are you planning to leaks up? Are you hopping on the Lolcohol strike train? If you are looking for a more detailed overview of all of these changes, you can check out a video from Sir Gog. I'll link it in the description. He'll go over all of this stuff in a more general way and less specifically focus on the Lightning Strike Warden. So have a wonderful day. Catch you soon. Catch me on Twitch. We will be looking at the build, the Lightning Strike Warden on stream. Have a wonderful day. Catch you. Bye-bye.
Divine power! Divine power! It's branching exile. You're making me nervous.